video. We're still getting right into it today without the intros and the outros. So what I have starting us off in the overview energies is adventure and the Ace of Coins. And this was giving, I am on to bigger things. I am on to bigger things. I always get that messed up. Like, is it I am on to, I think it's bigger things or better things. I am on to bigger things. So somebody could be embarking on a new adventure with this ace. This is suggesting that whatever it is going on in real life, right? But it could very well be something to do with like money making and finance, but it doesn't have to be. This is just talking about something very, very brand new, a new phase that is tangible in the material world. Like you would recognize it if it's happening to you. And then what we have over here is disturbance and magician. And it's giving, see, I've got supernatural under here. It's giving, I don't know. The magicians might be up to the wizards, might be upset. I don't know. Some sort of magician, maybe a practitioner is upset about something. It doesn't have to be. If this is not about a practitioner, then it means that something that somebody's trying to do, like, so here, look at this. This adventure card is somebody scaling a mountain. Whenever somebody ascends to a higher place in real life, when you are on a plane and the plane is going up or the plane is going down, it's making that transition before it coasts to whatever altitude it's going to coast at. There is always a certain level of turbulence, sometimes more turbulence, sometimes less turbulence, depending on what's going on in the atmosphere, right? So what we could be talking about is somebody moving on to bigger things or better things. They are ascending higher within maybe the social hierarchy of life. When that happens, there is usually always some level of turbulence before we acclimate to things. And that turbulence also serves as an initiation process for the spaces and situations that you are going to enter. Because when you first enter them, you have to pass through the initiation. And in real life, right, unless you super are like in a lodge or a group or a society where these things are all structured and you are talking about a magical grade or like a spiritual ranking, like a real life one, right? Most people aren't doing that, and it doesn't matter. Like, that's really just a preference. Organically, life is going to set up initiation periods for you. You do not need a society or a lodge or something way more structured like that to achieve the same sort of life milestones. And so someone might just be going through an initiation period with this because you are not guaranteed, just because you're moving up or whatever, doesn't mean you're guaranteed to stay there through the initiation process. The initiation process might determine that you are not ready to be there. It doesn't mean that you can't ever get there, but like if you fail one of the trials, you will be knocked back down. That's what the turbulence is for. Can you pass through it and rise above it, or do you have to descend back below to learn something else? And so that turbulence can look a number of different ways, and it can manifest, like let's say it is about magic. The turbulence can manifest as other magicians performing warfare on you. And that, like, you can look at that, like be like, oh my gosh, that's so like scary, or like it, but the thing is, it's like not unique. The point that I'm trying to make is that that's not unique to magicians. That happens everywhere. When someone is climbing any sort of social ladder, people are going to try and pull you down, like the bucket crabs, right? People who are higher than you, which I never really understood. I never really understood this one, but I kind of get it now. People who have a lot more than you are going to try and knock you down. Like, no, they don't want you there. If you don't like conform, because they're like the top dogs, right? If you don't conform to their standard, if you are being disruptive in some way, whether you intend to or not, they're going to try and knock you out. So, and that happens corporate, that happens within the pop world. That's why you have all of this stuff. So it's not, what I'm saying is, if you're not within the particular subculture that I'm talking about, you can still see the same pattern replicated where you are, if the essence of the reading is resonating for you, because no reader can possibly address all of the different subcultures that we're dealing with. This stuff happens in high school sports, high school academia. We could be talking about something like that, or somebody could, typically I'm not speaking to high schoolers, though that would be an outlier for the channel probably. But a particular sort of high schooler very well could resonate with what I'm talking about and apply it to themselves. That's where personal decoding comes in. Even when I'm being specific, the specific thing that I'm saying in your instance may actually just be a symbol. And it's going to come across to you or manifest for you in a way where you can see the symbol, but what it is in reality is something totally different than what I've said in the read. Whatever this turbulence is, and I mean, we will look at it if it seems like something interesting. I don't think it's going to be an issue ultimately, because what we're ending with is the Hanged Man and libation. I think whoever is experiencing this is going to, they're enlightened. They can see through it. And so it's we're going with the Matrix, right? Neo in the Matrix, when he can see the Matrix, when he can just stop the bullets because he can see the code, it's sort of you're gonna pass right through that if you can see exactly what it is. For the most part, libation, donation, pray, religion, this always gives me sort of relief though, but it might be that if you know that you have a team working for you, if you do worship through a particular religion or lineage, once you pass through the initiation period on whatever this is, and you know that you are tangibly living a different life than you have been before, and it's something that you would classify as a better life, you would need to tithe to whatever deities, ancestors, organizations, people, or your personal team, and that's going to look different for everybody as well. Some people it's going to be an energetic tithe, some people it'll be a material tithe. You will know what that is, you will be informed. So let's look at what is going on in the tarot details. Ace of Coins, adventure, we have the Lovers, so someone coming into union with something, and you can see that there is a mountain in that card as well. So this is somebody on the other side. Someone's passed over the other side of this mountain. And this is sort of the divine saying yes, yes, woo, I don't know, woo, okay? It's a congratulation. And so then what's under this Magician and disturbance? Oh, the girls are fighting. It's the fight. Oh no, oh no. See it you come into union, and that's when the hoes want to come out of the woodwork. So we have something here. We have, y'all, it's the smoke. Somebody wants the smoke, and somebody wants, oh my God, catch hands. I don't know. Somebody wants to fight. Somebody wants to fight. It could be magical warfare. It could be jealous people. I don't know, but it's something happening. So let's see what's finally under this Hanged Man and libation. The King of Swords. This is either just the person who's experiencing the turbulence is being I'll fight you. It would be someone in the energy though. I don't know that there's going to be an actual fight here. This is sort of when you've got those scenes in martial arts films where the two masters meet and the two masters just kind of look at each other, and they have the fight entirely in the energetic unseen realm, and then they just decide. All it does is look like them looking at each other for a second, and then acknowledging who won, or if it was a mutual thing or whatever, because they don't have to fight. They can just sense it in the energy, and they all of it goes on in the subtle realms, and then they just walk off. That's why those fights typically are really, really boring, because they don't have to fight. They're at the level where that doesn't have to take place in materiality, right? So that's either someone just standing in their own power and people sensing it, or that is the person who is behind this Five of Swords thing, like maybe sort of like demanding tribute. Like, I'm top dog here, so you have to give me tribute in some sort of way. I got a no on that. I think it's more standing in the power. I got a yes on it. All right. But we'll look. So we're going to go around again with the big deck. So what we're dealing with here is someone on some type of come up. The Empress and the Shine. I'm a fucking queen. All right, I'm here. Like, I am here. I'm here. I'm at the. It's me. I'm at the party. So it's just like, okay. So people are upset about whoever that Empress is, the person who has ascended the mountain, and that is like self-actualized energy. If we're taking it in its more base form, if you are a woman or a femme and you are very beautiful, if you are very beautiful and like quietly confident, people hate that. They hate it. These could be jealous men or masks that hate that they cannot be with it. They're not the emperor. They're not the emperor. Like, they can't be with the Empress. Sorry. So you could be dealing with that, or you could just be dealing with like haters in general. Okay, so let's see what's going on down here. The Queen of Swords. So it's like, this is somebody, because the Queen of Swords is facing the King of Swords. So in the feminine aspect, right, we're going to take this in the negative. This is someone starting rumor, and it doesn't matter if it could be a woman, this could be a man, could be a non-binary person, but we're going with that classic, like, toxic femininity. Someone starting rumors, someone trying to smear someone's reputation, someone talking shit, someone like making little passive aggressive comments, like backhanded stuff. This is someone maybe sending flying monkey, like they spread the rumors, right, among their little group, and then like the group all sort of like shuns them or something like that. Or it's someone, like, I wouldn't guess that this would be like a direct call out. This would be something like a little bit shadier than that. But it's sort of like the person who is in the toxic femininity. It's like the way that you deal with that, even as a woman, is by getting into your healthy masculine energy. And what is the healthy masculine energy when dealing with toxic femininity? Ignore. We don't deal with that. That is a waste of time. Okay? It's just stoic. It's not happening. It's not happening. And that, like, if you are a man, and we're talking about actual men and women, that's how you deal with toxic women. You don't engage them. You don't argue with them. You simply understand that that is beneath you. And you ignore and walk on. And just like, they fall into the pit of despair, okay? And they get into those little weird things with other men who haven't learned the lessons. That's an initiation period for, like, can you ascend beyond bitches be crazy? Well, if you're saying that all women are crazy, bitches be crazy, that just means every woman that you have dealt with is that way. And I have questions as to why, and it is the same thing when all men are this way. All men are this way. No, all the men that you have dealt with are that way. Why? Why is that? That's not for no reason. So there are like, everybody's initiation stuff looks different, but that's one of them. Can you ascend beyond that? And some of this stuff, and I know this one gets a little bit like touchy when we're talking about it, right? So I'm going to stay very vague about it. Can you ascend your own culture or the aspects of it that perhaps should be dealt away with? No one's culture is all positive. Everyone's culture has negative stuff in it, and that you can be bound by when someone is trying to tell you that, like, I've got the cats with the cat hair, y'all. If someone's trying to, like, culture or race disown you for something, well, you're not this enough. We're gonna disown you. Like, that kind of stuff gets very painful, but you really need to look at, is my own culture, is my own heritage? Are the stereotypes or the narratives that go along with my gender, my race, whatever it is, are those things holding me back from fulfillment, happiness, and joy? And then make your decisions. Is being white to you more important than your personal fulfillment and happiness and thriving? Likewise, is being black to you more important than that? Or Hispanic, or whatever, or straight, or like some form of queer, okay? There are all narratives surrounding that you're going to get shit for flying in the face of. But that is part of what it means to be liberated. Example being that, to me, you cannot make the consensual choice to be in a traditional looking relationship as we understand that. Heterosexual or heterocentric, man and a woman performing stereotypical gender roles, okay? You cannot, to me, in my opinion, you cannot actually consent to that unless you have, for some point in your life, left those dynamics entirely, whether that's in your own mind or whether it is you did it in real life. If you are bound by certain performances of masculinity and femininity, then you're not consenting to it, you're bound by it. So you have to leave it before you can look back and go, actually, that is my preference. I prefer being this way. And that's also deeply tied to economics as well. So like that's getting into my like political stances about what systems of finance that we're living under with capitalism. There are, to me, choices that I cannot truly make consensually based on the way our economy is set up. And so I talk about doing away with that kind of thing, not because I'm necessarily mad about capitalism, though I do get upset and mad about certain things about capitalism that I think are toxic, but because to me, when you have a hierarchy, when you have a compulsory hierarchy, I have to participate in this. I have to, in order to survive. I am not making consensual choices. And I mean that, like, the spectrum of consent, what I would tell you is that the choices that I am compelled to make to live are far less dire than someone who is in much, much greater survival circumstances than I am. So it's a range, right? But it's still not true consent. It's not true consent unless we're talking about real freedom. And within consensus reality, no, we don't have that. So we're always talking about a range of consent. So anyway, I'm off in the weeds, but that's like an important thing to note, in my opinion. So let me go ahead and see what's going on with our hanged man, our enlightened person over here, King of Pentacles. This person, whoever this is onto this new adventure, they are within, this is this lovers. This is the union of opposites. It's the union of masculine, feminine, left brain, right brain, the energies, the modes of behavior. This person can shift. This person can shift into Emperor, Empress. This person knows when to be in feminine energy and when to shift into that masculine energy in a healthy standpoint. It's just like, okay, here's this person, they've ascended the mountain, they've achieved union, now can they hold it? That's what this test is about. Can you hold your own Emperor, Empress status? Okay, so it's still in this deck. Let's see if we can't get any information about what's going on with our challenger. A new challenger has entered the game. Bitch, your time's up. Why are you not clocking out? These bitches only hot on TikTok, TikTok. Okay. What's happening here? Oh, well, we have someone very, like, this is kind of like narcissistic energy with this 9 of Cups. This is but they're sitting there like, I am the challenger. Like, I am the one you must face, right? If you want this, you must face me in combat. Like, yeah, you must, oh my God, this is like, you must face me in combat. Like, this is just part of it. You must face me in combat. You must pass. You must pass, Atreyu. Three of Swords, yeah, like, yes, the girls are fighting. All right, I gotta switch to over here for this Three of Swords. Trial by stone. Oh my God. This is somebody who's gonna run their mouth. Oh my God, this is so this is kind of easy peasy to me. This is somebody who's gonna say something to other people, and it's sort of like, are you gonna take the bait? Page of Swords. Seven, so somebody's gonna spread some sort of lies or rumors. Lies and rumors, girl. Non-gendered girl. Lies and rumors. Delusions. Chariot, probably that's gonna take off like wildfire. So what you also need to know, Knight of Pentacles, but it's like, here's the thing, it's gonna spike and then it's gonna kind of like level out. So what you need to know about that is that for whatever community this is going on in, the people who are allowing it to spike are the people who like hate you anyway. Even if they were being nice to you, they want to believe this about you, and they've just been waiting for the person to stand up and be like the vocal leader so they can go, yes, we hate this person too. And we've always hated them. But now we have a champion amongst us. So just pay attention to that. You pay attention to it and you ignore it. So what are these rumors going to be about? And I'll get some on that Knight of Pentacles. Well, this all just flew out. Oh, I'm supposed to take all of this? Empress at the bottom. Let's see what's going on here. Knight of Cups. This could be that you're like a flirt, or you like, I'm gonna forget the Taylor Swift lyric. This is like, it's on Shake It Off, which is what you'll shake it off, like that's what you're supposed to do. But I keep cruising, can't stop, won't stop. Okay, the lyric is like, I go on too many dates, but I can't make them stay. That's what people say. That's what people say. That's what it is, okay? The star, like you're self-centered. Okay, so. I don't know that I have seen this with men so much, like, when I'm saying actual men, I do not mean to be offensive by that. I should say cis men, cis het men specifically, cis het men. I know that there is a lot of jealousy. It just looks a different way. I'm not sure that the thing that happens with cis het men that get a lot of women's attention because they're very successful or very attractive, like weird competitions do go on, like weird jealousy competitions do go on between men. But what ends up happening with men, cis men like that, is that typically they're gonna get more people who like wanna be around them, but like for real, because like they wanna catch that person's like overflow, I guess. And they'll tend to respect, for the most part, they'll like tend to respect that man more. But I have seen like weird, but it tends to happen like in kind of spaces where cis het men would also be described as being in like feminine energy, but toxic feminine energy, where they start getting like into these weird, like Those are the men that get into weird like sex competitions with each other, and they're like, oh, I can have sex with that woman quicker than like you can. Like they're like in some sort of weird thing with each other, and really what's going on is those two men just kind of need to hate fuck and get it over with, because what's really going on is between them. It has nothing to do with like the women. It has to do with them and like some sort of weird like aggression sex thing that's like playing out between them. It's very odd. I just avoid it when I clock it. I'm just like, oh no, the men are fighting. So that's kind of how that's performed, at least from what I've observed with men, because I don't know, a man could tell you better than I could, or a cis het man could. For women, for the cis women, and also the femmes, this tends to happen in femme spaces, so it might not be cis women. We could talk about trans women. We could also talking about like feminine queer people. And so when there is a woman who is getting they're the star, okay? I'm a star, I'm a celebrity. That means someone everyone knows. If a woman is getting a lot of male attention, the girls are coming for her. The girl, well, you know, it's a specific type of girl. And this is a gendered girl for once. It is the Pickmes. The Pickmes are going to rise up in revolt against like this person who they feel is monopolizing the male attention. The girls do not like that. The gendered girls do not like that, who have not decentered and devalued men's attention. Those are like the women who are very caught up in men validating them are going to be very bent out of shape about this. And from what I've experienced and noticed, it's almost like there's nothing you can do about it. It's like you're gonna shine and like be attractive, and you just have to like go through this stuff. Because like you can't, it's not that you can't, but like most men like that are not going to change, and they just like, it's a horrible habit. If you're a man listening to this, a good way to ascend to to me, a better realm, and a realm where you're dealing with secure women, is to not be the man who only engages with the women who he finds attractive, like his preference, and completely ignore all of the other women. Like a really, really like great men, cis men to be around are cis men who really understand how to operate very well socially. They're very inclusive in conversations. They're very, very free with compliments. And also, depending on how much money that man has, that man is going to sort of lavish attention on everyone, treat everyone really well. And yes, when they have a romantic preference, they will treat that person specially, but during the courtship process, it's going to tend to be, like, that's going to tend to be more in private. He will ask that woman out privately, and yes, that woman will get special attention, but he's not going to put her in a situation publicly where other women are going to treat her viciously. And so men who, and these sorts of men tend to get way more. If you want way more women's attention, do that. Do that easy skill issue fix. It doesn't have, and like that sort of energetic attention and social attention. You don't have to have a lot of money for it, and you do not have to be very, very attractive. You don't have to be, and that's going to go on in a particular space, right? Because I do know that there are certain types of, because I'm not like, I always forget that. I always consider myself straight, and I'm like, well, you're really not, girl. Because like when people are like straight, I call them aggressively straight. Straight women will tend to treat men that aren't attractive to them like badly. And it'll be because the reason why that's happening, and unfortunately I've experienced this as well, so I tend to be a bit more standoffish now, is because for a man who is not attractive, they can be very attention starved, and they get overly obsessed with you, and it gets scary. because when you're trying to be friendly, they are taking it the wrong way. And so it's just like, there are barriers every which way. But I would say, if you're running into that issue, I would say continue to be friendly to people. Like, try not to take it too personally. That's the reason why it's going on, and they just don't know. The longer that you are around and behaving well, the more likely it is for you to ultimately be accepted by that particular group eventually. And I'm just saying, like, as a particular thing for a man, if you're at a particular place where like you do not have like the sort of financial opportunities that you want, and you aren't where you want to be, like with your looks or your body, however that's going to look yet is, like the thing that you can be doing is like that more, it's like a more charisma based thing. And charisma is just being generous with your own energy. And so if you have an abundance of interior space and interior energy, it's it's much easier to do that because you're working with the overflow, right? And that's where we get into like, where are you with the meditation practices? Where are you in your spiritual practice? If that's how you want to look at it, where are you with therapy? That's where that comes from. That sense of, I have a lot to give of myself comes from that. And if you are someone who is still dealing with like very, very serious traumas, no, you're not going to have that to give. You need to give it to yourself. Center yourself and decenter all of these other people. So yes, Four of Cups, whoever this Empress is, they have a lot of options. They have a lot of options, whether you're a man, woman, non-binary person. People are mad because you are monopolizing someone's preference. Someone's preference, you're monopolizing that attention. They all, like, this is like the it girl, the it guy, right? King of Wands. Oh, King of Wands, the Empress. These are like, just if you are women or femme, these are the men in masks, just like falling at your feet, like, oh, like, I want to be with her. This is what's going on behind the scenes. This is so bad. If you're a man, don't do this. Don't do this if you're doing it unconsciously. When y'all are at an event, right? And you are attached, you are in a relationship with a woman. And this is how you can tell that you shouldn't be in the relationship that you're in, that you're with a bench warmer or a placeholder. If you are then with a woman that you are cohabitating with, like sleeping with regularly, whatever it is, but it's an actual relationship. Like, it's not some sort of friends with benefits thing. And you go back home with that woman and all you can talk about is another woman to her face. Oh my Lord. Like, no. And the thing is, Pickmes will kind of validate this with men by then kind of joining in and saying that, oh yeah, she really, like, she was just so gorgeous. And the thing is, the reason why they're doing that is to maintain that, like, they're being the cool girl, right? They're trying to remain within the proximity of that man. And so if they see that that man is attracted to another woman, they are going to do the cool girl thing, even if they hate this, by agreeing with what that, oh yes, she is really beautiful. Oh, maybe like, depending who the pick me is, they'll be like, maybe you should, you know, invite them into, like, maybe they wanna like team up. Maybe we should get into like a throuple, or, you know, it's some stuff like that. And the thing is, that's not real. That's not a real throuple. That's not a real polycule. Okay, that's what I'm talking about, is like, there are lots of people who are like, they're trying to do polyamory or open relationships and it's not real. It's not authentic. It's because they're insecure or they think they can't get any better. And that's not reality. This is reality. And so like, a real polycule is for people who are actually poly, okay? And so that's when you can see, and if you've never been around the difference, like, because I see a whole bunch of like uninformed straight people who do not, like, all they have is straight friends or whatever, saying that like all polyamorous people are just people who like can't do any better. That is not the case, though I would say that there is a lot of that going on, and you can immediately tell the difference between something healthy that is going on within polyamory or an open relationship and something that's not. The energy is way different and the behaviors and boundaries are way different, okay? So that's this. This is like, No matter who you are, this is the attack of the Pickmes. Revenge of the Pickmes, okay? And so well, I mean, it's super easy. You just ignore this. You just ignore this. So what's going on behind the scenes right now, if this is you, is like a lot of men in masks with that King of Wands have mentionitis. Your names are being mentioned in other people's relationships. You are the energetic third party, and that is not your fault. These are just like the people who do this, if it's a man, right? Some men are really unconscious about this. It's so rude, and I've seen that. And if you want to elevate yourself as a man, start clocking yourself. Start seeing when you're doing it and like apologize. Be like, oh, that was really rude. Like, whether or not I think someone's attractive, that was really disrespectful to you. Start doing that. And then there's just the men who don't care. Like, and these are like these are like the blunt, like these are the people who are always going to be at like the Illuminati pyramid. These are the people who will always be at the bottom. Okay. And that's just, the more I think about it, because I'm just like, we need to like flatten the pyramid. Girl, the people want the pyramid. The occult is the occult is not gatekept, just by the way. Secret societies are not really secret, or at least they might be, but the knowledge isn't. It's there. It is for he who has the ears to hear and for he who has the eyes to see. Most people either are unconscious or they flat out want the pyramid to exist. They want it there. They want things to be as they are. And it's sort of up to you, the individual at the moment, to just see it and rise above it, okay? So if you are a man and you want to raise yourself up, you know, in the Illuminati pyramid socially, do that. Or rather, don't do that. Don't do that. And understand that if you are doing it, you are not with your true partner. You're not. You are coasting. You are a sofa slug within all of life. If you are doing that, you are with potato chip people. You are a potato chip person, and you are holding yourself back and others back in the potato chip realm. Okay. The Cheeto dust hand, and I like Cheetos, okay, I'm just saying. The Cheeto slander, like I like chips and Cheetos and all of that. But like, do I super want to be that type of person who settles for low self-esteem shit? No, I don't. I don't want that. To the best of my ability, I am not going to engage with that. Okay? So this is about recognizing your inherent self-worth and acting accordingly, because once you recognize it and are embodying it, you can't but do anything else, right? So the rise of the Pickmes, and they're going to get their little Pickme flying monkeys to probably attack. They're going to, I don't know what they would say if you're actually not doing anything, because I mean, you also have to ignore these men as well. Because the men who are doing this are also in toxic, these are all toxic feminine people, no matter what gender they are. They're all in toxic feminine energy. The backbiting, the pettiness, the cattiness, the backstabbing, all of this. A healthy masculine energy just deals with things directly. They just make like the, what's going on? Like, they're not doing all of this like backroom BS, okay? So, I don't know if these people are saying that you're a whore. I don't think that that's the case. They might, I don't know, they might try to say you're using people, or like, it just seems like people, they're just mad. Who's mad? I don't know. Who's mad? And so what's this Knight of Pentacles thing? So what else this is about is if you start receiving these sorts of attacks, what some people, compassionate people, will do, which is understandable, is they're like, oh, well, I don't want other people to feel bad, validly. So let me back up into the shadows. It doesn't work. Believe me. Like, in a different sort of season, right? I did not want to hurt people's feelings. And so I dimmed myself and allowed other people to shine. Do you know what happens when you do that? When you step back and allow these other people to shine, to have the platform, they use it to harm you. They use it to shit on you. That's what people like this do. And so you actually can't let them have it. You simply must crush Satan under your heel. That is what sometimes, because you know I'm a compassion and forgiveness person, Satan, when Satan tries to get in front of you, must be topped. Satan must be beaten the fuck back down. Get behind me, bitch. That's where you belong. Don't you dare try to get in front of me. I crush you. I crush you because I'm above you. Oh my God. So top Satan, because that's what Satan truly wants. Get that bitch back behind you and then walk on. Okay? Do not, because like insecure people cannot be allowed to wield power because they wield it poorly. That's why it's gate-kept like that, and why you will learn very harsh lessons if you try to just give people power they don't deserve. My point being is don't dim yourself, don't step back, and also ignore this. Don't feed into it, whoever these people are, because no man that's doing this is going, I don't see an emperor here, just straight up, okay? So none of the people who are involved in this little scenario are like a viable option for whoever it is that I'm talking to. And if I'm talking to an emperor dealing with this, more on the cis man side, none of these men are your actual peers. And none of, if these are women doing this to, women, I don't know, maybe they would, but there are no empresses here. Besides, I am speaking now directly to the emperor, empress, non-gendered person of fully actualized royal status, okay? So what is this Knight of Pentacles? This is just something to be endured. Page of Pentacles, the Fool, Page of Wands, you're on to bigger things. You are on to bigger things, and this is up. When you start experiencing it, you just up. It's the turbulence. It's the turbulence. Hose mad. Hose mad. Here's the turbulence, and I'm just gonna have to pass through this onto wherever it is that I'm going. Okay, and I mean, it kind of sucks. It kind of sucks because it can be a lonely process. Because as we all well know, as you go up the pyramid, right, the biggest is at the bottom. Your social circle is always going to become narrower, 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 okay? The social pool does not stay as wide, okay? And that doesn't mean that you aren't going to have a wide social circle. It's just that those people are going to be amicable acquaintances. So the way that you handle this sort of a thing is by not dimming your light, but also keeping it classy. Okay, you don't you're not going tit for tat. You're not intentionally trying to shit on bitches. Okay, you are classily twirling on your haters, right? Always stay gracious. Best revenge is your paper. Okay, that's it. That's all you have to do. And in fact, you can even you just treat these people. You don't actually engage with them, but you still treat people amicably, cordially, but you're not actually giving your energy to them. Giving your actual energy to another person is something that's exclusively for the inner friendship, inner family who's worth a damn, actual partners, romantic, platonic, familial partners. That's what that is for. And then it's only ever overflow and excess that you are allowing another person to experience. This is going to radiate naturally from your auric field. Your aura is very potent, right? And so people are naturally going to just benefit from your aura if they are accepting of it and not rejecting of it. So the Knight of Pentacles is just march on through. Okay, march on through, because you're on to a new adventure. You're on to a new place. And so I don't have any further questions about this. We're going to go into the final advice outcome and still close today with the perennial words of the Father, because I am tired, all right? I am tired, and I don't really like talking about well, this is actually interesting because I was kind of getting tired of like the relationship type reads. Like, this is something a little different, a little interesting, a little bit of drama and tea. But ultimately, whoever I'm speaking to would be occupying the best space in this read, right? But I'm sorry that like these sorts of little initiations do go on. It's a fact of life. Ooh. I don't know why I'm ever concerned about the collective. Finally, it's a final advice outcome. You are strong. You've become strong collective, and you are having happiness overflowing. You are entering the promised land, the land of milk and honey. And the Fool, of course, is at the top of the mountain. And I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, and all of that stuff. The top of the mountain is also the place where you can clearly see the next mountain, right? So you're going to be in a certain carefree space, and you're starting the story over again with right now you just have your little dog, Dorothy. Follow the yellow brick road. You are going to meet a whole, when I say cast of characters, right? Like, that's kind of like, when we center ourselves in our own lives, that does not mean main character syndrome. I understand everyone is the main character of their own life, but main character syndrome is actually obnoxious. Main character, centering yourself healthfully is not main character syndrome. Main character syndrome, that is going to attract sycophants, flying monkeys, parasites, energy vampires, who will come to resent you in some way for these dynamics that they themselves are participating in. A centered person is someone that people genuinely want to be around. Because they do have this energetic abundance. They do have quite a lot to give, and they do know when like someone does need some sort of upliftment or whatever. So that's what I mean by meeting a new cast of characters. These are going to be new people who will actually become your friends. New people, if you're not married already, or in a if you're in a polycule, like, people could be coming into the polycule, non-gendered girl again. New mates, if you're monogamous, new potential spouses, or if you're not really, like, you're monogamous but not into marriage, new cohabitation partners, but like serious stuff, right? The people who are going to be your inner circle for the next leg of the journey, that could be there throughout the entire thing. Like, you can all rise together, but that tends to be up to that person and not to you. So, my fellow magicians, let us officially close out with the perennial words of the highest authority. Happy painting, and God bless, my friends.